Welcome to day one. Today we start at the foundation, the level that everything else depends on. Level one is about space, the conditions we create before a conversation even begins. Take a deep breath, arrive here and now. Most of us never consciously think about the conditions we create when we enter a difficult conversation. We show up in the wrong place at the wrong time in the wrong inner state, and then we wonder why it went badly. The book puts it simply, safety is not merely the absence of threat. It is the presence of conditions that allow people to engage authentically and vulnerably with challenging situations. There are two kinds of safety at this level. External safety, so the physical environment, the location, the privacy, the comfort, and internal safety, the psychological atmosphere, the sense that your dignity will be respected, that your emotions won't be weaponized against you. Think about this. You walk into a meeting and the seating is arranged so that one person is clearly at the head of the table, elevated, while everyone else is lower. The room has already communicated something about power and safety before a single word is spoken. Or imagine trying to have a deeply personal conversation in a coffee shop surrounded by noise and strangers. The environment doesn't just affect comfort, it affects what is possible. External factors, neutral location, privacy, physical comfort, freedom from interruption, appropriate time. These are not luxuries. They are prerequisites. But the most overlooked dimension of level one is internal, the quality of presence we bring to an interaction. Presence means being fully available, genuinely attentive, and regulated enough to actually listen. When someone feels genuinely heard, not managed or tolerated, but deeply heard, defenses begin to lower before a single word of resolution has been spoken. And when we arrive in a dysregulated state, heart racing, jaw tight, mind already rehearsing our counter-argument, the other person feels that. We may say nothing threatening, but our nervous system says it for us. Prevention is always easier than repair. Establishing safety proactively takes far less energy than trying to resolve it after it has collapsed. Here is what this looks like as a prevention practice rather than a crisis response. Most conflict prevention work at level one doesn't happen in the moment of conflict. It happens before. It's the 60 seconds you take before walking into a difficult meeting. The choice to have a sensitive conversation in a private space rather than in a hallway. The ground rules you agree on before a hard topic even opens. Different people have different safety needs. What feels safe for one person can feel threatening to another, based on history, personality, or culture. Part of level one awareness is learning what the other person needs to feel safe enough to engage honestly, not just what you need. And critically, we need to ask ourselves, what state am I in? Am I regulated enough to be present with this person? Or am I arriving already activated, already half gone? Pause the video if you want and sit with this. Think of a recent difficult conversation that didn't go well. Looking back at it, what conditions were missing? Wrong place? Wrong time? One of you too activated to listen? What would have been different if you had created better conditions first? Today's practice is an arrival check. Before your next potentially sensitive conversation, today, this week, whenever it comes, take 60 seconds beforehand and ask yourself these three questions. Am I physically settled? Am I emotionally regulated enough to genuinely listen? And is this the right time and place for this conversation? If the answer to any of those is no, Adjust the conditions or wait. The conversation you delay to create better conditions is not a conflict avoided. It's a conflict that has a chance of actually going somewhere. Tomorrow, day 2, we move from the environment to the emotional landscape. Level 2 is about understanding what triggers you before it drives you. Peace comes from within. I'll see you tomorrow.